Well, welcome back to the V4 Future Sports Festival. We are live here in Budapest in Hungary for day 2 of 3 of our action here. Group B is officially underway. And if you missed the first game of the day, Serbia sit top of Group A with 3 points next to their name. We've still got 5 more games coming your way today. My name is Brandon Smith. Joining me for this day of action is Richard Buckley. Rich, it's time for the home nation to step up. Hungary, there's my cards gone. Hungary against Romania will be our next one today. This is probably going to be one of my favourite games of the day. Well, I hope it will be, depending on how the game goes.
Look, this Hungarian side have to perform when you consider that the reigning champion is Gabinho. He's a Hungarian FIFA player. They held the tournament. It's sort of their tournament that they've called. I'm very intrigued to see how they get on. We're going to go into this game very shortly indeed. But before that, let's have a look at the standings, how they currently are in Group B. The Serbs are leading the way. A 2-goal victory against that Croatian side. Who do you think is going to be joining them? Because we've got to have a winner. There's no draws in this tournament. It's either winner or loss. The Hungarians or the Romanians. Before we get a prediction, before we start talking about the game itself, what did you make of the first game of the day?
I think there was a lot of nerves in the first game of the day, to be completely honest with you. I mean, it's what we're going to come to see. Players playing their first ever 2v2 FIFA tournament together. They would have never played before. They're not on the same team. They're not on the same esports organisation, most of them. However, I feel like there's a lot more to come today. Yes, we saw a clean sheet, which we hadn't seen over 7 hours of FIFA yesterday. This is the game you're going to be looking at right now. It's the Hungarians of Chris Madge and Mr. Hungary in terms of FIFA esports. It's Molnar Garbo, the Hungarian beast he calls himself. Came in a top 4 in the last V4 Future Sports tournament back in FIFA 18. On the flip side, that's a scary duo. RV Pui, of course, Razvan Pui of Team Hullet and Romania. On the flip side of that as well, Ovi, ex-pro player, content creator, over 700,000 YouTube subscribers and loads of fans from all around the world.
Yeah, look, he is what a lot of people might be watching this broadcast for as well, that Romanian side. I'm very intrigued to see them, and we're going to see them very shortly indeed, because they're making their way to the stage.
There, RV, Pui and Ovi. I mean, Ovi would have missed that. He's been a pro player, hasn't he, in his past times. From dating back to FIFA 06, he was at the world side of the game. He's been at the FIFA Interactive World Cup, or as it's called now, the FIFA E World Cup, for 3 years back to back. Who they're facing against is this mighty duo from Hungary right now.
We got to turn it on. To turn it on. We got to turn it on.
Well, the teams are now on the stage. This is the second part of Group B. You may have seen Team Croatia and Serbia already been on the stage. It's just the Hungarians and the Romanians. What a game this one plans to be, Richard Buckley. Titles between these two teams, so many qualifiers, so many tournaments they've all played in. They all have pro LAN competitive FIFA experience, however you want to talk it, title it. They've all been on stages like this before, and they will be absolutely thriving on this atmosphere in that room right now.
Oh, absolutely. You cut the tension with a knife right now. This feels like the biggest game we've seen so far, not only in terms of the personalities on the stage, their stature, their growth, their sort of impression that they can have on the FIFA community, but also this is the Hungarian team. This is the team in their back garden. Talk about pressure. The pressure is on these two right now, because not only have they been selected as the Hungarians in this scenario, but I'm sure there's a lot of people, a lot of Hungarian FIFA players sat at home thinking, I could have done that. I could have been representing my country there in the V4 Future Sports Festival. Whereas Romania, they've got the pressure because they're probably the favourites coming into this tournament, and they've probably put that pressure on themselves. Why would RV Pui not be the favourite? He's one of the best players in Europe, not necessarily his own country, but in the entire continent of Europe. He was in the top 20 on the Global Series rankings last season. He was a real standout performer, and I'm sure we're going to see more of it coming up during this game right now.
Interesting as well, both of these two teams have been literally practicing last night in the hotel. What I saw on social media, if you follow RVP or Ovi, they were literally in the hotel grinding out 2v2 action. Spoke to Mona Garber when he came into the broadcast sort of centre today. He said, we've also been practicing, we've been playing a lot of FIFA, and I can tell you right now, Mona Garber would have been very vocal in who his partner would have been. He knew that Gabinho, unfortunately, has retired, a very short career in the world of FIFA esports. He's next door commentating on this right now, probably thinking, come on Hungary, we need you to play well today and ensure that you take on my sort of my reign and move it forward into this tournament.
Well, I mean, we've been talking to Gabinho quite a little bit during sort of our stay here in Hungary. Whenever we've had 10-15 minutes, we've been going over, we've seen him, whether it's in the canteen, whether it's just around the studio itself, and whenever we've spoke to him, he said, no, they'll be feeling pressure right now, these two players, because there's a lot of quality in Hungary as a country, as sort of a FIFA hotbed, shall we say, and there's talent there. These two who have been selected, Mona Garbo, arguably the face of that scene, but Chris Madge, there's pressure on his shoulders to perform to Mona Garbo's level.
Well, here we go, we are underway. And it could be an early start from Hungary. Domination, Gabo. And there is the Hungarian beast. Had an unbelievable last couple of years in the FIFA esports scene. FIFA 20 was his standout year. Made 2 EA majors back-to-back. But it's funny enough, he actually went to Romania to play those tournaments. On the flip side, his teammate Chris Madge of LV Esports just missed out on the last V4 Future Esports tournament that took place back in FIFA 18. He lost on a 90th minute plus added time goal to get knocked out of the qualification. He was telling me prior to this tournament, it's nice that he's finally involved this time. And Mona Garbo's words were to me, Richard, were, we've got a lot of unfinished business at this tournament, and even though he got a top 4, his words were bad memories from it. He wants to be a champion.
Yeah, this just shows so much about his mentality, doesn't it? Not only as a FIFA player, but as a man as well. He's a winner. He's a champion. And because he didn't succeed, by his own admission, in that tournament 3 years ago, it feels as though he's got a point to prove.
I'll tell you what, they look like they are in sync in these first 10 in-game minutes with these lofted through balls that will be causing problems for RV Pui. Only 18 years of age from Romania, but what a start to his career he has had in the esports scene. Without putting the age number on Ovi, sort of like the new and the old, isn't it, in terms of Romania? The FIFA esports quality.
I mean, look.
And look at what he's built for himself off the back of that, Ovi. He's an absolute legend in the FIFA world, in Hungary as well. Thousands upon millions of followers. You sort of link all his social media accounts together. He's been to so many big tournaments, and he's probably inspired the likes of RV Pui, the likes of Cosmin as well, that's out there in the FIFA esports scene, another Romanian FIFA player.
when you consider that in 2006 he was competing at the World Cyber Games. It's now 2021.
And he's still playing the game.
It's 15 years ago he was competing.
And I think it was FIWC 12, 13 and 14. He went back to back to back qualifying for the World Finals as we knew it.
But not only the fact that he's still playing, Brandon, but also the fact that he's still, if not as relevant as he's ever been.
Yeah.
It just shows the longevity of his career. From pro player to content creator to global influencer.
Still such an ambassador for this esport. His teammate, as we said, only 18 years of age, playing for Team Hullet, which has been a talent factory as of late. Chance for Hungary. Brilliant start! Will raise the roof here in Budapest. As the Hungarians strike first, Chris Madge and Molnar Garbo finding the back of the net with just 22 minutes played here.
Great work down the byline. It was on the touchline. He just fired a low-driven pass into the box. R9 was the recipient. Didn't need to take a touch. First time strike. And a really smart finish from the Hungarians. Just having a quick look at the teams across the board. Marquinhos, as to be expected. Mendy, Militao and Hakimi as a back four here for this Romanians squad. Nkunku and Fofana as the two holding midfielders. What looks like Ginola, Pele, Mbappe and Cristiano Ronaldo as a front four. Actually, Neymar, apologies, not Ronaldo. Pele! Getting us back in the game. One apiece.
And surprise, surprise, it was RVP legend with the goal. The new young gun on the scene in Romania. Striking it back into Romanian hearts all around the world that are following this one. It's their opening game in Group B. And it's Pele down one, and it's the two icons already stepping up, Richard. That's what you put your big bucks into. Big plays. You only have one of them in your team. And at the moment, it's been R9 and Pele mainly running the show.
Two Brazilian icons. Two of the most expensive players in FIFA. Pele, 95 mid icon. R9, the 94 mid icon. Two finishers. Two strikes. Two goals.
Nicely done. Chance. Oh, Ovi there, just trying to tee up the shot of David Ginola. The defending once again at the back. Cordoba, he was heavily involved in yesterday's team, gets the nod for the Hungarian duo.
Just going around the studio, there was a sense of excitement for this game. There was a sense of nervousness, tension in the air. It's a tough start as well. The Hungarians.
It's a tough group, isn't it?
It really is, yeah. I mean, we didn't know what too much to expect from the Serbians, but they've come out and they delivered a really good performance. And obviously they'll be taking part in game number 4 against the Hungarians. Coming up in probably about 2 hours' time.
By the end of play today, we'll find out those two teams that will be developing and moving, I should say, sorry, into tomorrow's finals, where one duo will win €11,000 come the end of play on Wednesday night here in Budapest, Hungary. The main story point has been around how nice it's been to have LAN competitive FIFA back.
Is it?
2v2 competitive FIFA is Chris Madge! Just over the bar from Neymar.
Big chance, Neymar. He broke past the back four. Left-footed strike across the goalkeeper, but sailed over the crossbar as well. Maybe too much power on that one from Neymar.
Good, this is really good, Pele. Ovi wanted to go on his own. David Ginola was there. He was just sitting there, I think. Razvan was just saying, lay me the ball, just lay me in. He's probably the top goal scorer yesterday, wasn't he, David Ginola?
Yeah, he was really, really influential in a number of games. That will take us into half-time. A really enjoyable, exciting first 45 minutes being played there. You were talking about David Ginola. He's almost that free pass. If you can get him in the team, he doesn't take up an icon spot, but he plays
he's
as good as an icon. Yeah, if you got given the choice, between David Ginola or, I would say, 95% of the icons, it would be David Ginola. David Ginola or Eusebio. Most pros are taking David Ginola. David Ginola or Cruyff. Maybe you might take Cruyff, but I would say a lot of them probably going for David Ginola.
Right now, bear in mind, so primes aren't out in the game. If you said to someone, top 3 players are one of my team right now, an Ultimate Team, you'd probably like to say it'd be in there. To some degree.
Yeah, I mean, attacking-wise, definitely, yeah. Probably Pele, R9, Ginola, maybe Mbappe in and around that conversation as well.
Can be in that conversation, absolutely. But in terms of a new player, he's a foot hero that's come into the game. If you're wondering why he's not an icon, he's a player that everybody's been wanted in those foot hero packs when they came out into the game. It was Di Natale or David Ginola that would bring a rare smile from the FIFA community.
Look, I mean, in a game cycle, FIFA 22, where we've seen a lot of prices really dipping down, he's still up at 1.7 million coins on the PlayStation. Everything else has come down in price, other than probably David Ginola. He's probably come down maybe 100,000 coins since the game's come out. Shows how impactful, how influential, and how valued he really is in teams.
Speaking of David Ginola, there you go. That's why his price tag is just continuing to go through the roof at the moment, as the Hungarians will make it 2-1. And it's that foot hero, the Frenchman, Ginola, striking them into the lead.
Again, didn't need to take a touch, just threaded through from R9 into Ginola, left-footed strike. Doesn't matter if he's left or he's right, he's got a 5-star weak foot. Great finish from David Ginola.
Bit of French pronunciation in there from you.
Just thought I'd mix it up a little bit.
You're absolutely right though, Rich, in terms of this has been a really exciting game so far. The best part is it's a best of 2, as all the games are here. So we have an aggregate scoreline that will carry over. To go top of the group, it would be on goal difference if it was more than a +2. The Serbians were able to create in their game. Lovely little dink into the box. That's nicely done. That's really nicely done. Literally on the same wavelength, those two. Chris Madge and Gabbo linking it back, laying it back to Nkunku of all players. The French midfielder just pile drives that one into the left bottom corner. You can see the reaction for the Romanians. They're just like, fair play.
Yeah. What can you do about that? Christopher Nkunku dinked into the back post. Mbappe just nodded it down and said to Nkunku, just go and have a strike, go and have a shot. And boy, did he deliver a cracking effort into the bottom left corner. Nothing the goalkeeper can do about that. And again, it was just instinctive FIFA. There wasn't a skill move. There wasn't a load of touches being taken. He got the ball, he brought it down, and he just leathered it into the bottom corner.
And right now you can tell, Richard, who's been grinding this game, can't you? You can be grinding who's been, playing 2v2. And it's clear to see. Well, the Hungarians are on the same wavelength. And at the moment, they lead by 3-1. It could be 4-1 at this rate. R9 finds Mbappe. Is there a cutback? Tried to tee it up. Again, they're just on that same wavelength there. He knows where he wants to try and land that cutback. It was Neymar that just took a couple of yards away from the penalty spot. A couple of yards off the defender. Looking for that double-tap cutback. And if it wasn't for a trailing leg, I think, of maybe Marquinhos, that probably would have been 4-1.
I'm just looking at the face cams as well. There's much communication between the two teams. It certainly seems as though...
I saw Monagaba put his headphones in before the game started. I don't know if they're in still now, but he put 2 AirPods in. I was thinking, are you not talking to your teammate, or are we on a telephone call? Either or. I think he might have taken them back out now. At the moment, whatever it is, it's working.
It's in case they start losing. Get the headphones in.
Goes for a goal kick in the end. It looked like a potential corner shout. 20 minutes away from the end of leg 1.
Very impressive performance. This hasn't been something that we've typically become used to in the first legs of games. It's been 1-1. It's been 2-1. Majority of scorelines that we've seen. This has been end to end. Both these two teams coming out firing here in leg number 1. It's
Team Romania. Pele still! The brilliant little touch there from Pele. I don't know how he avoided the tackle, to be completely honest, but it's a brace for the Brazilian. And it's a really important goal back for him.
He bundled his way through. Did Pele. It got fired into his feet. It was a touch, it was another touch, and then somehow just managed to settle the ball before firing past the goalkeeper. Straight from kickoff. Oh no, he could have brought it down.
Coming for it every time. They know it.
He was onside as well.
Yesterday we saw that little short corner that was finding Leon Goretzka every single time. It was a way of scoring that only a couple of duos were able to sort of add into their game. That kick-off, high through ball.
Every single time the ball's been kicked off, they've tried it.
And because they can control R9.
They get full running ability of him. They can track exactly where he wants to go. If someone steps up, they can go a different angle. It shows that they've been practicing as well. It shows that they've got a few different game plans.
Well, we saw a team, as we said yesterday, Slovakia win a game on just set pieces. If you've got anything that's going to give you an edge, Richard,
use it.
You've got to add it into your game.
Use whatever tools you've got in your arsenal. Even if you've got sort of one particular way of playing FIFA that's you really enjoy, and that's the sort of your strength.
You cycled well. I mean, this really does set up the second leg in the best way possible. 3 goals to 2. The Hungarians lead right now. Could be 3-3 if Romania can get this one across the box. Just offside Mbappe. A little bit too keen off the mark, and into the pause menu we shall go with 9 minutes left to play. I forgot that Draxler's actually been playing this game.
Yeah, CDM, hasn't he? Next to Christopher Nkunku, the player of the month FUT item. Not a lot of words being said on the stage there. Hungarians having a little bit more time to talk. There's one player in particular who'll be making the changes, or is it a joint effort? So it looks like Molnar Garbo was the man in charge.
Well, that's definitely the man who has been the front runner of FIFA esports here in Hungary. He's been the face of the development, the growth of it. He's admired by many, and I'm sure he's inspired so many along his pro career too. Nearly 50,000 followers on Twitch as well. Normally streams his qualification games, his qualifiers, especially in that FIFA 20 season. We finished the year ranked 23rd on his console. That says enough of how impressive he was that year.
Look, and who knows where that year could have gone as well. Obviously, we had to cut it short due to the global pandemic, and got paid out on how many points you had and your placement in the leaderboards. But he very well could have had a great playoffs and found his way to the World Cup.
And it's that popular substitution again, isn't it? Fellaini's coming back onto the pitch. Didn't really make too much of an impact or a noise yesterday when he came on.
Alphonso Davies as well as centre mid for the Hungarians.
But if you do have a corner,
Fellaini's dangerous.
Watch out for him. Added time to follow in just a minute now.
I'll be honest, I don't know if they're going to get the ball back. Never mind get a corner.
I think the Hungarians will be happy to leave leg one with a goal. It's been an explosive start here in Group B. If you have just joined us at the V4 Future Sports Festival. And that should just about do us there, referee. And it will. 5 goals split just in the favour of the Hungarians. Chris Madge and Molnar Garbo lead by 3 goals to 2 at the break. Out the 2, they certainly, for me, look more in sync. They look more in the same wavelength. And what they've been trying, Rich, in that first leg we've seen is a lot of tricks up their sleeves that I don't think we've seen all of them yet.
Yeah, certainly. I think the Hungarians looked a better team. I think the Romanians had a couple of individual bits of brilliance, really. The Pele goal was really nice. The first goal as well, sort of just a quick counter-attack, a crisp bit of play. Pele got both goals, actually, if memory serves correctly, for the Romanians. The Hungarians, though, arguably look like one of the better teams as a duo they've seen.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we are going to go to a quick break before we jump back into this one now. If you enjoyed the first leg, do not go anywhere because we'll be back in a few minutes for that massive leg number 2.
Welcome back to the V4 Future Sports Festival, and what a time to be joining us. Currently on course to break the record for the highest scoring game thus far in the tournament. We've played one leg of FIFA and we've already seen 5 goals. The most goals we've seen in a game so far is 6. So as long as we don't have a goal drought in this second leg, we will be on course to break that record, as we nearly break a camera right there. You dropped myself, Richard Buckley and Brandon Smith. Fantastic first leg of action that we've witnessed so far.
Absolutely, yeah. What a game it's been. 5 goals between the two. Chris can have a laugh at that one. He got the cameraman off there. Poor cameraman. All good, though. What a game it was in the first leg. As we said, we saw a scoreline of 3-2. We've seen a headset being inputted there, or something being used from the two players. We did say about communication being a factor that we didn't see loads yesterday. We saw it for a couple of teams that were sort of just chatting instructions, chatting tactics out to each other in their, of course, respected native language. But from what we're seeing here, is either we're both going in the same phone call, I believe it potentially could be from Onagabo and Chris Madge. On the flip side, I think Harvey, Pui and Ovi are happy just to chat next door to each other. But it's the first team we've seen do something like that.
Yeah, the intercoms certainly been improved there.
It's a massive part of 2v2, isn't it, the communication?
It is, to an extent. I think everyone who plays FIFA competitively knows how to play FIFA competitively. You know the tricks, you know the meta, you know all that sort of stuff. So I think actually sort of telling people how to play isn't necessarily a thing that you need to do. However, it is important on set pieces. It is important on how you want a pass to be played. Double tap it to me, play an over the top, I'm ready for this now. That sort of thing is important. So I think communication is a pivotal part of a duo. However, it's not the be-all and end-all.
Well, here we go then. The Romanians against the Hungarians. RVP legend, or Razvan Pui as someone known as. And of course, content creator, former pro player. Ovi from left to right in that team Hullet strip. The team that Harvey Pui does play for. Pele looking to get them straight back in the game after just 3 in-game minutes. Goes for a corner. Potentially goes up for a goal kick in the end for Edwin van der Sar to pick up. Hungary, though, they have impressed us in terms of how a duo has started this competition. They have looked really, really good in terms of offensively, Richard. They've bagged 3 goals in the last game, and they've just been trying out a few different things that we didn't see from duos yesterday.
Well, they're also pretty much shoot on sight as well. Whenever they got a chance, even outside the box, they were happy to take shots.
Oh, 9. Is he on? Referee! It's going to be an early penalty for the Hungarians. A little elastico to open up the space. Gets bundled to the ground. And what a chance this is for Neymar now. I believe it's Chris taking the penalty. Gabo looks away to the side. Ovi's up to save it. It's Neymar! And it's it. It's a 2-goal cushion.
Decent penalty as well. He didn't necessarily put loads of power on it, just placed it out of the reach of the goalkeeper. Stood up strong to it. He didn't move. He sort of hoping that maybe he went down the middle. Harsh penalty, but you see him given, especially out the back of skill moves this year. Blow roll, scoop turn, and the elastico. You see a lot of penalties gave on that. Pele bursting through the middle of the pitch. Cordoba steps out with a really good tackle. Been very impressed by that man.
You're absolutely right in terms, you said they shoot on sight. They are very direct with their attacks. There's that duo of LV Chris and Domination Esports is Gabo, which I think does help at times, because often what we've seen players do, they get the ball out wide and they slow it down, looking for an extra body in the box. But what that does is it makes it even more sort of compact and really difficult to whip a ball across the box, compared to if you can speed things up and make it quick, as we saw in passages yesterday. You can really pick off your opponent. Dink ball into the box. David Ginola, what a save!
Huge save. It was a lofted ball into the box. David Ginola got up. He's a big man as well.
Massive win.
Glanced it forward.
It's a flashback, isn't it, to that last game we saw players give away possession from a corner. It's a 4-on-2. They've got to make this work. Mbappe towards the back post. Pele! Brilliant finish. For a split second, I didn't think he was going to get there.
Picture perfect counter attack right there. Straight from kickoff. Neymar. Oh, he's in! Straight over the top. They're not happy with that one, the Romanians. But the Hungarians, they've tried it 4 times, and on the 5th time it works.
If it wasn't a bigger warning sign, then I don't know what it could have been. 3 times they've warned you about it. But I think they were just so caught up in celebrations, Romania, that they just forgot.
What a game.
And we're not done yet. We are not done yet. Hakimi into the box. It will go for Pele. Just wide. And a chance to breathe for you and me, Richard.
Well, let's go back. The counter-attack was perfect from the Romanians. They played it out wide, they overloaded the back post, and then just whipped that ball into the box. Pele with a really good finish to get in front of the defender and then sort of guide that volley into the bottom corner. But then literally straight from kickoff, we've seen it time and time again tried. That floated ball over the top, R9 brought it down. Neymar as well involved in a really good finish past the goalkeeper. You've got to be receptive to that. If someone's tried it 4 times and it's not worked, and then on the 5th time they're doing it again, you've got to know we need to drop off here.
Well, I think they'll know now. They've had the biggest of warnings from conceding a goal that's deflated them.
Back post.
Ever so slightly. Great idea. A little bit too heavy on that one. So as it stands right now, the score 5 goals to 3 to the Hungarians. So important they just restored that 2-goal cushion. And as it stands, if the game did stay like this, it'd be 2 teams with 3 points with a +2 goal difference. However, I think David Ginola might have other ideas. A little roulette there. Which wasn't a clean strike at goal. Took a deflection, possession back in the hands of LV Chris and domination Gabbo.
It's been a really good game, this, I have to say. Both duos playing to the top of their powers right now.
It always seems to be the way, doesn't it? Second legs. Or it's just an element of players feeling more comfortable, getting used to playing at the tempo that they need to be. At the level they need to be. Reverse elastico, nicely done. Just offloads the ball into the path, then Kunku. David Ginola was looking for R9. It became a bit too obvious. Thibaut Courtois, the first time we see the Belgian using goal. He did pull off an unbelievable save about 10 minutes or so or ago in game. There's going to be moments like this, though, from Razvan Pui. Little solo runs, little solo efforts. Nicely done. Here's one coming up right now. David Ginola drops the shoulder. David Ginola!
Thought it were in. This corner, we've seen it loads. Pele, green tide. Not necessarily a cross into the back post. It was just a driven pass into Pele's feet. 5-4. Kick off.
Oh. They're looking for it again, aren't they? This time, the Romanians able to deal with it, though. Aggregate scoreline 5-4. Hungary still do lead just by a goal. However, with the way that this game is going, that might not last for very long. We've had 4 goals in 40 minutes. I think what helps as well, a lot of these players would have watched yesterday's action, watched yesterday's broadcast, seen how some duos got on better with others. Maybe that little short free kick, the short corner, which no one's been able to do as of yet, other than just give the ball away.
Well, they've also had a little bit more time to practice, haven't they? They arrived on Sunday. They got all day yesterday to sort of get some games in, get some practice in.
Nicely done. Ronaldo punched into the feet. Brilliant save again from Courtois. What a chance for Neymar.
And that will take us into half-time. End-to-end FIFA being played. All 4 participants on that stage right now should be proud of what they're putting on here. 5-4. The Hungarians lead. But it could be more.
Absolutely, it really could have been. What a game it was. What a first 45 minutes. With a penalty in that, Richard. We had some unbelievable saves off the goal line. Time green finishes. Lovely bit of just solo efforts at goal as well. We saw from Pele especially. That counter-attack came from a corner. It was a 4-on-2. Pele just lofted it. into the bottom corner. It was a brilliant, brilliant finish. Sort of putting up a bit of a fight, aren't they? Which is the better icon up top, R9 or Pele? They've both been delivering the goods. He's the Romanians now. Pele, can he find the cutback? Brilliant save again. Edwin van der Sar called up once but twice. Nearly was an own goal. Again, this short corner. I don't know what these players are thinking.
Well, it's worked once for them, hasn't it? Because they scored from the Pele goal. But because they're not manually pulling a player short, they're just hoping that the opposition don't switch onto it quick enough. But if they are, they're always going to intercept that pass, especially as it's sort of trickling across the ground to the edge of the box.
Nice feet. Ball roll, scoop turn. Perfect combo. Is there an end product? Nearly there was. Well played at the back from Cordova. The foot hero based in the Serie A. It's just been a rock at the back.
He's in.
Could be. Manually controlling Neymar. What's the back post? David Ginola, he's got options in there. Ball roll. Back to R9. Here's the Hungarians. Keep it down to ground. Is he back up in the air? Tries to offload it to Neymar. Very well done.
You thought for a second, as that ball sort of rebounded back to R9 and the keeper was on the floor, that he might have had a tap in. Best game of the tournament so far, and we've still got 30 minutes left.
And we've still got plenty more chances. That could have been one. Great idea.
Player lock.
Ball lofted forward. It's a running race at the back. Ginola. And Marquinhos, well played, wins the ball back nicely. Kicked out of play. The possession back now to the Romanians. If you have just tuned in, this is the V4 Future Sports Festival. We're in day 2 of the competition. This is our second of 6 games today. And if this is your first taster of 2v2 FIFA esports, this has been an entertaining one to remember. The first game finished 3-2 to Hungary. This is 2-2. 5-4 in aggregate. Could be more though. Oh no. Played at the back by Ovi there, defending well. Going for the right run. Will be onside because the deflection came back his way. It's just from a simple mistake. The deflection that fell back early to the Hungarians, dinked into the box, and that is prime David Ginola. He was doing that all day yesterday. Just getting around the 6-yard box, in the air, Richard, winning it with a header, volleying it into the back of the net. He's just given them a 2-goal advantage.
But we were saying, he is physical, he is tall. David Ginola, the best way to describe it, imagine you take the skill moves and the ability and the technical ability of Neymar and then combine it with Cristiano Ronaldo. Physically. In the air, the power, the shot power, the dominance that he can have over defenders. He is tall. I think he's 6'1", David Ginola. He is a bit of a specimen in that area. He is the best of both worlds, really. And look, we saw him there outpower and outstrength the defender at the near post. Glancing header from Ginola. He got above Eder Militao, and it looks like Fofana there. And gives the Hungarians a 2-goal lead.
Well, following this game, Romania will actually be back in action again. They'll be playing against the Croats, Team Croatia. Well, I think something's just happened there with the controller of Chris Madge, as the game is just brought to a quick pause, but
I think they're laughing, the Romanians, because they did the same sort of kick-off routine where they were running forward, and I think he might have literally just got past the defender as he's going to ping the pass, and then he's had a little controller issue, so I think that's maybe what they're smiling about, the Romanians.
he says it's...
Come see, come ça.
Yeah, pretty much. We speak French. Come see, come ça. I think a little bit good, maybe a little bit bad, but it's good enough to play, says Chris. But the point I wanted to make, sorry, was the Croatia will be in action against Romania straight after this. So Romania are going to have to go straight back into another game, whether they win or lose. That'll be 2 of their group games done and dusted. What's been super impressive is in that right top corner there of the screen, you've been able to see the button inputs from some of the Hungarian players. Nicely done. David Ginola was there waiting. Pele just tried to put it into his path. But they're in a bit of a luxury hot seat right now, are the Hungarians. They have got a 2-goal cushion, which could be a 3-goal cushion. That ball was just a little bit neater into R9's feet.
I think it's more Gabo's controller input that we're seeing there. He's player 1 on the Hungarian side.
Curious to see when he goes forward, just looking at that controller input, how mental. Just look at the L1 button as well, just top left of the controller, how many times it will change player when they get moving. Nicely done. Watch that break now. There's R9. He could put this game to bed. He's in a running race. At the back, little ball roll, cheeky chip. Pass around the corner. He tried to disguise it into Mbappe's feet.
Yeah, look for a little double tap just up to Mbappe. Maybe looking for the return as well from the Frenchman. Didn't have that initial sort of burst of acceleration to get away from the defender, R9. As that game's drawing on, stamina is something that isn't his greatest asset, the mid R9. And he just didn't have that burst to get away from the centre-half.
If they find one more goal, Richard, it'll be game, set and match. The Hungarians will pick up a huge 3 points. David Ginola, that was the chance.
Flash wide of the goal. Great work to find Ginola. Couldn't find the frame of the goal, however. Quite surprisingly, I thought that was actually going to be a goal when it bounced up to him.
Nicely won. A pause coming in 6 minutes, just under that, to be honest. You get to see a quick change from Hungarians. Monagabe making those changes now. On the flip side, you'd have to say for Romania, Rich, it's a case of 3 at the back. Let's really just constant press and go for this because we need 2 goals and time is not on our side.
Well, we saw it yesterday as well. Goal difference can be quite a big factor in these group stages where you only play 3 games. You've got the ability, 9 times out of 10, with them being no draws, that a lot of teams will finish on the same points, whether it's 3, whether it's 6. So having that extra plus goal, couple of goals here and there can really help you out. I mean, yesterday we saw 2 teams qualify via goal difference, that being Poland and the Czechs.
Vinicius Jr. He was a player that started actually for a few teams yesterday and really made his mark on the games with the pace that he offers you. And a couple of informs as the Brazilian winger after a great start to proceedings in La Liga for Real Madrid. I think that's going to pretty much do us, Richard, to be honest. It's a case of game management now from the Hungarians. It's clear to see both these teams have been putting in the reps before this competition here at Budapest, Hungary, where we do bring the action live to you today. But even more so, it's been clear to see how big just having those little tricks up your sleeve with that really long through ball from kickoff can be from the Hungarians, because in this game it has been one of the difference makers for them that has given them a 1-goal lead, and they will win the tie by 6 goals to 4 overall. 3 points on the board, Richard, plus 2 goal difference. They sit joint top of Group B as it stands right now with Serbia.
Yeah, great performance from the Hungarians right there. Ovi and Avi Pui will be disappointed as part of this Romanian side, because you score 4 goals and you've not come away with a victory. But the goal-scoring prowess of that Hungarian team is strong. They will continue throughout the rest of this tournament. I think their next game is against Serbia. But before that, we've got Croatia against the Romanians. Two teams, two sides who did lose their opening fixture. See which one of them can bounce back.
Yeah, and as it stands right now, Richard, we have seen across the 2 days we've had so far at the V4 Future Sports Festival, 8 best of 2 games. Only one of them had a clean sheet. I mean, no one really is keeping clean sheets. These are end-to-end games of FIFA. There is going to be lots of goals scored, and I really doubt you're going to pride yourself on having a clean sheet, because it just doesn't seem to be possible.
No, it certainly doesn't. I think the defensive prowess of a team could potentially be that factor that gets them the trophy in 24 hours time when we come back on Winners Wednesday. However, as of right now, we've seen 2 games, and it's been all about the Hungarians and also the Serbians.
And it's also all been about, I should say, you guys sending in your selfies from home. Who are you supporting? Where are you watching from around the world? With one of our fantastic partners in CU, you can send us a selfie of you, and who knows, if you can send them in, firstly, thank you. You might make it onto the stream. We've been showcasing loads of selfies from all around the world of who you're supporting, influencer, pro player, or maybe you're here for us. I doubt it, but you know, we could at least try. And if you do that, you could win yourself a V4 Future Sports signed power bank for your phone or tablet or charge, anything that needs charging. Basically, this power bank will be able to do that for you. So please send in your selfies and let us know where you're watching from around the world. Anyway, that's 2 games done for today. Group B is starting to really start moving now. We're seeing storylines emerge. How many points, though, will be enough to send you through? We'll have to wait and see. Game 3 is on its way after this very quick commercial break.
Úgy jobbak, hogy csinálják.